In today's session, we'll understand the concept of Power BI gateways. Let's understand what exactly they are. Here we go. Power BI gateways, also called as data gateways, an application that needs to be installed in the computer where actual data source resides or where actual data source is accessible. These gateways are used for scheduled data refresh between the data source and the Power BI cloud. In the cloud, your report resides. So the requirements, the 64-bit Windows operating system with any processor type. So in your computer or maybe your company's data center, your actual data source resides. We need to have a gateway in any computer which is accessible to the data source. For example, assume your company's data center. Generally in data center, system admins will not allow installations of new applications. In general, system admins will not allow new installations of other applications, other apps like gateways in production data center. And what we do? We install data gateway on a middle tier server or a dedicated server which is accessible to the original data source. And the gateway will be a bridge between the original data source and the Power BI data set to refresh the report. In our example today, we are going to install the gateway in our local computer. Perform data refresh activities. In real world, this gateway would be available in something called MT, middle tier servers. Okay, with this information, come on, let's understand now how to use this data gateway activities. Let's start our example from scratch. So what I'll do is I launch Power BI and I'll take one Excel workbook as a source. My Excel workbook is in my F drive. Okay, in my local F drive, I have an Excel workbook like this. Remember the path. Local F drive, I have an Excel file. Let's wait. Say connect. Select, for example, this financial sales data. We click on load. This one. Just click on load. Okay, here it is. Okay, let's see. Once we get this information ready in this way. Okay, this is your source data. Now our requirement. Our requirement here. For example, I'll take a table or any other visualization. So what we're doing right now, we're just designing a report. Small, simple reports, a country-wise, segment-wise, and month-wise, product-wise, content like this. Next. Go to Format, Go to format and give the text size like this. Okay, something like this. Next. For example, I'll take some tree map visualization, country, and sales like this. Okay. For easy understanding, I'll take a table visualization because we'll do data refresh. So easy verification of data refresh, let's have a table and a tree map. For example, data label, let's highlight the data label values. We'll concentrate on the units sold value, okay? This one, 1011, etc. and the values. I'll also include a card visual for units sold, just to make sure we verify the data refresh easily. Now, click save. I'll save this report to my local desktop. I'll say here report for data refresh. Give some name. Any name is okay. Any name is fine. Next. Our requirement. Here we go. Go to the app.powerbi.com. Let's log into Power BI Cloud. Let's log into Power BI Cloud. So here I'll log in. Let's wait for a few moments. Let's log into Power BI Cloud. And I'll create a dedicated workspace. You can make use of existing workspace also. For now, let's use dedicated workspace. I'll just skip. Let's wait. Let's wait for a few moments. Let's wait for a few moments. Yes, once you log into the Power BI Cloud, what's our requirement now? For clarity, let's have a dedicated workspace. This one, create workspace. You can make use of existing workspace also. I'll say, for example, data refresh workspace. I'll say data refresh workspace and click save like this. Click on data refresh workspace. Okay, and publish. From Power BI desktop, I'll publish the report to this data refresh workspace. So once you hit publish, you get the workspace list in alphabetical order. I select required workspace and publish it. Now what's our requirement? Our requirement is if we do some changes to the data source where in my F drive, this source file, financial sample source file, I do some changes to the units sold in my local F drive, the data should be refreshed in cloud, Power BI cloud. That is a concept. Initially, I'll right click and say new tab, and we'll see the report showing the existing data. Units sold 282, okay, total 282, combination 102, 95, 85, 282 total. Units sold we are focusing on right now. Now what's our requirement for data refresh activity? So for data refresh, we need to install a tool called Data Gateway, this one. Install it on any computer from which you can access the data source. How to install? Dot dot on top right, dot dot download data gateway. See here, download data gateway, dot dot download data gateway. Good to write your own observation notes. There are two different gateway configuration styles. Standard mode means multi-user. Personal mode means single user. For now, standard mode, multi-user. Let's wait. Let's wait for a few moments. Let's get the gateway installed. It would take few moments time. Let's install the gateway. Yes, double click on the exe file, this one. Click on exe file. Just click on the exe file. Accept licensing terms and click install. Windows 8 or higher operating system required. Windows operating system mandatory. A 4 gig or 8 gig RAM is okay enough. 4 gig RAM also works, but 8 gig RAM preferred. During installation of this gateway, it will prompt you to sign into Power BI Cloud. Let's wait for a few moments. So how you got the screen? From here it is, dot dot download data gateway, this one. It's a one-time installation. One data gateway can support any number of source connections. So in fact, it's a one-time activity. One data gateway can support any number of data sources, any number of connections. Let's wait for a few moments. Let's get the gateway installed. In the meantime, go back to our notes. So here it is, identify the source for Power BI report. So identify the data source. For example, in your computer, this way. Like Excel in F drive in our computer. Design report. you save it. Okay, then publish to cloud this way. Then what we do here, the link may not be always standard, so what I'll do is I'll just write log into Power BI cloud, create new workspace. Of course you can use existing workspace. From Power BI desktop, publish the report to cloud. Then from Power BI cloud, log into Power BI cloud, and here it is app.powerbi.com. okay, then log into Power BI cloud. From Power BI cloud, what we do, go to above created workspace, verify the report and data set. Okay, this one, verify the report and data set like this. Then from top right side dot, and there you see download, then download data gateway. Install, select standard mode gateway for multi-user connections. The installation would take some time. Then it will prompt you to register the gateway in your computer. Specify a gateway name, any name is okay, and a password. Before that, will ask you to sign into Power BI cloud. So use the same login details here also. Use same login details. So step number 3, I'll just mention this way. Using same login details you used in step number 2. It will ask you to sign into Power BI cloud during installation. Okay, next. Here we go. Here it is, email address to use in the gateway. You already have the credentials with you. If not, you will be receiving the required credentials. You already have them in the Power BI cloud previous chapter document. Sign in. Just click on sign in and provide the relevant password to log into Power BI cloud and click sign in. I'll say skip. Just click on skip. Now the gateway gets signed in. We need to register a new gateway in this computer. I'll say, for example, SQL School and Power BI gateway. Give some gateway name. Any password is fine, and confirm the password. Any password is okay. So we are registering a new gateway in the computer. Click configure. This would take about 10 to 20 seconds to register this new gateway. Back to our notes in the meantime. So here it is, register the gateway in your computer. So for registration, you have to specify a gateway name and a password. Any name, any password is okay. Click configure. remember the gateway runs on a dedicated service called NT service. Say NT service place / Power BI engine, PBI engine gateway service. It's an internal concept. Generally, whenever you install any application, it runs on service. Even SQL Server or any antivirus, including the Power BI gateway, they run on dedicated service. We can identify the service here. Go to services.msc. These services will be managed by system administrators. Here are the list of all services like this. Okay, in this way, something like this. Next. So here are the list of services. During configuration, the Power BI gateway also get installed, and a service will be added to this list automatically. I mean, during the installation process, it gets added automatically. For now, click close. Next. Once your gateway is online, you close this window. Make sure it is online. You close the window. Now, number 4, from Power BI Cloud, here it is. Go to Dataset settings. See here. Firstly, what we do? Download, right? This one, download, install gateway. Now, go to Dataset settings. Go to Dataset settings. Gateway connection. This is the gateway we use, right? This one. Identify the registered gateway and click on view data source. By default, you see red. You need to say add to gateway. This one. So arrow mark side, then add to gateway. Just click on add to gateway. It will prompt you for your local Windows username password because you installed gateway on your local computer. So provide valid Windows username and password. It should be in this format: computer name / instance name. It should be in this format: computer name / username. If you are not aware of this computer name and username, you may log into your SSMS Management Studio, just in case, to verify the Windows username. Go to SSMS. Let's wait. Already have Management Studio with you. Just launch Management Studio and let's wait. We'll see one prompt for server name, and below server name you see username, right? This one. We are looking for this username. A/B format. Computer name / username. That same computer name username you have to provide, and its password. You don't have password, then set it. Laptop pin will not work. You need to have a password, mandatory. Click add. Just click on add. So make sure The data set is added. Once again come back to data set settings. So this is the one, right, running. So we add the data source. Now add that previously available data source. Just now we said add to gateway, you got a data source, right? The data source we need to add. I'll repeat again. Add to gateway, we get one add data source page like this with the name data source 1. You can also name it as report data source full file path. This is the path we used in the report. Username, password, add. Just click add. Then back to gateway. That SQL school gateway registered entry is there, right? Here, this one. Map to that report data source. Whatever data source you add. Click apply. So how I got the screen? Data set settings. Back to our nodes. Go to workspace. Go to workspace. Data set settings. In data set settings, what we need to do? Yes, here it is. Once you go to data set settings, gateway connection. Gateway connection. Identify the registered gateway. Identify above registered gateway. In our example, SQL school gateway. And click on the arrow mark towards data source. Then click on add to gateway. This takes you to the data source page. Name data source. Verify the source path and specify. Yes, here it is. Specify valid credentials. Here it is your local computer login credentials, because you need to connect to the data source, and click add. Once again go to data set settings, gateway connections, and select. So identify above registered gateway, then connections drop down, add above, or simply select above added connection. This way we need to link. Here we go. Gateway connection, data source. This gateway, registered gateway, data source map to above data source. Click apply. Then we have schedule refresh. Switch on the schedule refresh. If data source has any Power BI parameters, you can use them here. You can include them parameters. Now refresh. I'll say at time like this. 6 a.m., 6 p.m. like this. Something like this, okay? So every day, every 12 hours, you would like to schedule the refresh. If refresh fails, send an email to any valid Power BI account holders. Okay, it's already there, just in case. We can give it to any Power BI account holder here. Next. For example, something like this. Click apply this way. If refresh fails, send an email to the owner. And that's it, you are done. So dataset settings, gateway and arrow mark map to first time add to gateway. Then select that added data source from the gateway page. Give schedule frequency and you are done. So here we go. Specify data refresh schedule frequency. Then click apply. Number 5. Go to workspace. Go to workspace. Click on refresh. Dataset refresh. The next schedule, the next refresh is today 6 p.m. For now, I will say refresh like this. We can refresh it manually. Before we refresh, what we do? Let's see. Go to data source. Click on data source. Units sold. Okay, units sold like this. Okay, I'll just give some values in this way. I do some modification to the source, units sold. Now refresh. Just click on refresh. Once we refresh, we see up-to-date information like this. For example, 842 or 843, refresh happened. We do manual refresh right now, or you may wait until today evening for scheduled refresh to take place. Now, you already got a new window for report starting of this example. Go there and refresh again. This is report refresh. We need to refresh data set, refresh report. Now see here, the unit sold values will be modified. You get new numbers automatically. So gateway is a bridge between data source and the report. So for this purpose, what we do, go to data refresh, this one, data set refresh. For data set refresh, we need to go to settings and this one, go to data set, click on settings, simply add whatever gateway you registered in your local computer. We need to select that gateway and map to the data source. So here is the notes. Go to workspace and refresh. Then go to report. Verify the refreshed or updated data. Before that, what we do, here it is. From your data source, of course, in this case, local computer, then perform changes to the data source file. Those changes will be given to cloud once you go to workspace, data set and refresh. So total 5 different steps. Okay. Once you practice these items, once you complete the practice, to make sure you don't have any overload, you uninstall the gateway, because generally gateway keeps on running and running. It will have impact on the performance of your local computer. So better to uninstall the gateway. How? Go to control panel. Go to control panel. add remove program, this one, programs and features, this data gateway, this one, on-premise gateway uninstall. Once you test the data refresh activities, good to uninstall it, maybe immediately or later point of time, so that you are cutting the connection between the Power BI cloud and your data source. Number one, from security perspective. Number two, from resource perspective. You don't want to unnecessarily overload your network. So this way we learned how to work with Power BI data gateway for refresh activities. You practice these items carefully. Use me for your doubts and clarifications.